West End, that's the best end where the nightclubs thrive. Down into a dive you go. There's a jazz queen, she's a has-been, Lord knows what. Every night she's there on show. She dances underneath a magic spell. She's full of charm, beer and stout as well. She's 66, but she looks 16. Her friends don't know her, now her face is clean. That's Fan Like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. Fan Like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. Fan Like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen.
Good evening and welcome. It's quite lovely for me being back. This is my old stomping ground around here. I went to school down the road. My parents lived just up the road. But being in a church on a Friday night is slightly weird for me. It was usually one of the Jewish persuasion for me. Thank you for coming tonight. This is a very unique, it is a unique celebration of the life and work of Lindsay Kemp, and there's a very good reason that Tim put this show together. He will explain more. But when he asked me to sort of guest host it and to interview a few people that had worked with Lindsay over the years, and Tim himself, of course, and Judd, who we'll introduce to you in the second half particularly, I jumped at the opportunity. I grew up aware of who Lindsay was and obviously his influence, but if you scratch beneath the Bowie-Kate Bush repetition, which you inevitably do if you have any interest in the man, it's extraordinary how important he was and he will remain to be. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I was wondering how I would begin, and whether it was going to be with a quote by Lindsay or a quote from somebody else. But actually it's a poem, and it's a poem that Lindsay used to recite himself when he used to go and give talks to students or to young theatrical types. And it's by Charles Baudelaire, and it's about drinking. Well, it's about being drunk. You have to always be drunk. That's all there is to it. It's the only way. So as not to feel the horrible burden of time that breaks your back and bends you to the earth, you have to be continually drunk. But on what? Wine, poetry, or virtue? As you wish, but be drunk. And if sometimes on the steps of a palace or the green grass of a ditch, in the mournful solitude of your room, you wake again, drunkenness already diminishing or gone, ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock, everything that is flying, everything that is groaning, everything that is rolling, everything that is singing, everything that is speaking. Ask what time it is, and wind, wave, star, bird, clock will answer you. It's time to be drunk. So as not to be the martyred slaves of time. Be drunk, be continually drunk on wine, on poetry, or on virtue, as you wish. And Lindsay said in an interview that back in his early days, he took this a little too literally. And I'm also guilty of it, that sometimes you need a little bit of alcohol in order to give you that little Dutch courage. And yet with his passing, it's clear how intoxicated we all were with Lindsay. His passing heralded a raft of tributes from every walk of the performing arts, many woozy or inebriated on the talent of this pioneer. So thank you for coming tonight to celebrate the genius of I was going to say Ross Kemp, and that wouldn't be right. That would be a very different kind of show to celebrate the genius of Ross Kemp. First half EastEnders, second half Ross Kemp on Gangs, where we find out a little bit more about Ross Kemp, the man, the myth, the idiot. It is a show in two halves, and Tim said to me the first half is very much a first half for Lindsay, and it features songs that brought Tim and Lindsay together. And the second is very much honouring Lindsay, and you will see why. We also have the premiere of the film that Tim has made and edited. And there is an interval, so you can take Charles Baudelaire's words at face value and stock up on wine. So you don't have to rate the vestry there. No one needs communion wine at any point in their lives. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to put your hands together and welcome not only your host or the man who put this all together, Mr. Tim Arnold, but also on the saxophone, would you please welcome Kit as well, and Mr. Tim Arnold. Kit Mlynar and Mr. Tim Arnold.
Variety of all comers on this patch. Variety's the spice of life, but sometimes there's a catch. I come here for the culture, the cosmopolis is good, but even I get terrified by a nipper in a hood. We've always had an open heart, 'cause every walk of life is a work of art. I get my pine nuts from Camisa, dumplings from Mr. Jerk, Bar Italia for the coffee. You want to see how those boys work? Then we'll get to the weekend and see the townies on the pool. They don't have much respect, is it the vodka or Red Bull? Yes, some of them go too far, you know. The trouble that we get here, it ain't ever been homegrown. Yeah, we want you to feel at home now. So mind your manners on the manor, and you'll know how. Yeah, we want you to fit right in here. So mind your manners on the manor if you don't live here. Well, I learned my trade on the Totty Court Road, not quite busting rhymes, more a kind of ode to a community of diversity, which is why they always say hello to me. I earned my stripes busking on a bench. Now I'm welcome everywhere I go, from AA to the French. But you've got to keep your eye out for that certain clientele, the kind that throw up on your doorstep and then ruffle your lapel. We've all learned to accept the trials of national debt, but there ain't no excuse for lack of etiquette. Yeah, we want you to feel at home now, so mind your manners on the manor and you'll know how. Yeah, we want you to fit right in here, so mind your manners on the manor if you don't live here. What would Charles II say if he were alive today? His statue in the square looks grim, with pigeon droppings on his chin. Would he pray for us in old St. Paul's, or would he grab us by the balls? Charlie wouldn't be impressed, but Nellie Gwyn would keep him fresh. Yeah, we want you to feel at home now, so mind your manners on the manor and you'll know how. Yeah, we want you to fit right in here, so mind your manners on the manor if you don't live here. Yeah, we want you to feel cozy, so mind your manners on the manor and don't be nosy. Thank you. Thank you. So, there's a lot to go through tonight, and all of it's connected to Lindsay. I'm going to explain why we're playing these songs about Soho a little bit first, before we continue. There we go. That should start things off nicely. Those are my grandparents. And I think the first generation in my family spent a lot of time with very little clothing on. That's Dickie Arnold and Dottie Arnold. And that's at the Raymond Review Bar, actually, in the 60s, late 60s. And this is my mother, Polly Perkins, who, although fairly well clothed there, ended up becoming the youngest ever nude at the Windmill Theatre in Soho. In 1959. Don't worry, I'm keeping my clothes on tonight. Here she is. And then this lady here is the woman that brought me up with my mother. Her name's Tony. And this is her in a little show in Soho at the Review Club called Frankie and Johnny, which was directed by Lindsay. And here Lindsay is in 1960. Still clothed. So my connection to Lindsay goes back 57 years, although I didn't know that when we met, and neither did he. And it was through Nendie, who's arranged the filming tonight, who kindly introduced me to Lindsay via email, just after David Bowie passed away. And Lindsay was coming here to do some interviews, and I thought I really must meet him. And we exchanged a few emails, and I did meet him, and we decided we'd try to work on something together. And that sort of took us another year of becoming telephonic pen pals. And until I finally got to about 4 days before my 41st birthday, and I had planned to do anything, and I had just enough money to go to Italy, and I'd never been to Italy, and I just called Lindsay and said, what are you doing on Sunday? And he said, why? I said, well, it's my birthday, and I don't know what to do. He said, well, come here. So I did. And on that day, the songs that we're playing for you now, on my birthday, we spent the whole day. I would be playing songs about Soho, which he loved, and he would dance in his apartment in Livorno, and we were working out a sort of stage adaptation of these songs, which he would have directed. So that's why I wanted to do these songs. Blue plaques in Soho, everywhere, aren't they? And I noticed this several years ago when I was writing all these songs for this Soho album. And I thought I'd write a song about it. And I just went through all the streets. I was living on Frith Street, next door to Mozart's blue plaque, which seemed a good place to start. And, of course, Lindsay lived in Soho. And I want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what it takes to get a blue plaque. Since I've got your attention, and it's not easy, even for a legend like Lindsay. First of all, English Heritage don't award blue plaques until 20 years after the person has died. So I really want you all to make a note in your diary for 20 years' time. But the reason for that is to see what happens in that 20 years. If in 20 years nobody is talking about the person that you nominate for the blue plaque, there's a strong chance they'll say, not really fit for a blue plaque. So this is again part of the reason it's very important to me to keep celebrating and sharing Lindsay's work, and share everything about his work. It's so vast and covers so many different genres, that if we get to, 20 2038? 2038, isn't it? 2038, I'm going straight to English Heritage, obviously, and saying, okay, Bateman Street, let's get the... Luckily, I run a campaign called Save Soho. I know the person who owns the building where Lindsay used to live, and I know he'll be up for it, but still have to wait 20 years. So, to help me with this next song, because it's a lot of people in Soho over the last 400 years, I'm going to introduce a dear friend of mine to the stage. Please put your hands together for Judd Charlton.
One, one, one. 1, 1, 2, 2. Yes, hello.
I'm going to tell you about the people in Soho over the last 400 years, and Judd's going to be all of them. This is called Soho Heroes. Ronnie Scott, 1927 to 1996. Francis Bacon.
If you can talk about it, why paint it?
Muriel Belcher, 1908 to 1979. Geoffrey Bernard.
One way to stop a runaway horse is to bet on him.
William Blake, 1757 to 1827. Sarah Bernhardt.
It's by spending oneself that one becomes rich.
Sebastian Horsley, 1962 to 2010. Peter Cook.
Everything I've ever told you, including this, is a lie.
From classical to Dada, for jazz and rock and roll, we're a legend from the Rada, played a journalist with soul. So get that final helping, 'cause it's gone bye-bye. Yes, everything must go, but Soho heroes never die. Canaletto, 1697 to 1768. Morris Huggett.
Don't touch the props, leave the props alone.
Casanova, 1725 to 1798. Karl Marx.
Workers of the world, unite!
George Melly, 1926 to 2007. John Logie Baird, 1888 to 1946. Still watching. Paul Raymond, Lucian Freud, Keith Moon, and Danny LaRue. Laura Henderson.
We've made rather a go of it, haven't we?
Mozart, 1756 to 1791. Michael Watchers.
It's not about the money, it's about the art.
Sir Joshua Reynolds, 1723 to 1792. Shelley.
Fear not for the future, weep not for the past.
William Hazlitt, Lord Nelson, Sid Vicious, Derek Jarman.
I'm not afraid of death, I'm afraid of dying.
Franz Liszt, Jon Snow, Verlaine and Arthur Rimbaud. Vivian Van Damme, Sheila Van Damme, and when a Westminster Council gonna give a damn? From a revolutionary to a May Day riot cop, it's beautifully hairy, and that energy don't stop. So get your final helping, 'cause it's gone bye-bye. Yes, nothing lasts forever, but Soho heroes never die. Nothing lasts forever, but Soho heroes never die.
John Dryden, 1631 to 1700. Samuel Johnson, 1709 to 1784. Peter Mark Roget, 1779 to 1869. Samuel Johnson, 1757 to 1818. Johann Strauss, 1825 to 1899. Frankie Vaughan, 1928 to 1999. Ian Board, 1929 to 1994.
Nothing lasts forever. Soho heroes never die.
They say Soho's not what it used to be. It never was!
Lindsay Kemp, 1967 to 1969.
Cheers!
Thank you. Thank you, John. And thank you to Kit, who has to leave us. Lindsay used to call me on my landline, which actually only my mother has. I don't give my landline out. It's, you know, it's enough, isn't it, having the mobile and the messenger and the WhatsApp, and etc. But Lindsay had the landline, and when he used to call from Italy, of course, I never knew who it was. And when we'd spent that time going through all the songs about Soho, there was one song that I'd written called MARINA. And this was the one that he really identified with and wanted to, and was in the middle of creating a really beautiful dance for. And so when he used to ring me up, I'd pick up the phone not knowing who was calling and say, "Hello, it's MARINA." And I knew immediately I'd be on the phone for an hour and a half discussing, you know, all the ideas that we were sharing to try to bring that show to life. And the song was about a real lady who used to work in Soho, and she was from Italy, really dreamed about going back to Italy. A lot of the song is about that. So it's quite ironic that tonight somebody has flown from Italy to London to perform in this. And it is, of course, Lindsay's closest collaborator, friend, prima ballerina, Miss Daniela Maccari. Marina's on the door again. She's calling in the boys from the rain. She'll show you a show if you've got nowhere to go. 1 week shy of 53, clutching books on numerology. There's a leak in her heart. She's got nothing to start, and it's easy to feel the cold when you think that you're no one. And it's hard to find places when faces won't come out to show one. So Marina is dancing all alone, like Queen Elizabeth on a fag break down the road. And she's dreaming of a summer that has no rain, take her away from the boys in the line and the girls on the game. Her son, she says, is good with cars. Others say he's behind bars. She won't hear what they told her. One day he'll pull up in a roller Her daily highlights, picking out scents. The stingers bring them down in pence. It's a treasure chest and polythene. She really loves the latest Calvin Klein. And it's easy to feel the cold when you think that you're no one. And it's hard to find places when faces won't come out to show one. So MARINA is dancing all alone, like Queen Elizabeth on a fag break down the road. And she's dreaming of a summer that has no rain. Take her away from the boys in the line and the girls on the game. So MARINA is dancing all alone, like Queen Elizabeth on a fag break down the road. She's dreaming of a summer that has no rain. Take me away from the boys in the line and the girls on the game. Take me away from the boys in the line and the girls on the game. Daniela, Maccari. How special was that? And as Steve said earlier, this is, this part of the show is for Lindsay. It's what we all wanted to do something for him, and what better than a dance by Daniela, who really has been in every single one of his footsteps for the last decade. I'm going to do the song that was the first song that Lindsay and I collaborated on, and I asked him if he would potentially be interested in interpreting the song lyrics with just his face, and of course he was like, "Look, I can do that," and he did, and it's been one of the most watched videos of anything I've done, because I think it is a genius to be able to go from emotion to emotion in 4 minutes, and show what a singer is trying to say in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do myself in a video. So this is called Change, and Lindsay's going to perform it with me. Hardest goodbye I'll ever say is the one that will kill if you walk away. Sometimes it feels like you rehearsed it, but that sure won't open if you think that we're worth it. Ain't you tired of pushing me away now, when I'm longing to hear Darling, stay now. A fork in the road, where are we headed? Bought us the book with the map, but we never read it. Change, wouldn't it be easy if we could change just a little bit? Change, wouldn't it be easy if we could change just a little bit? The hardest hello ever known is the one that you spoke when you met me. 'Cause I didn't know we'd have so much more to say. And how could I know, oh, that you'd get me? I'm finding it hard to find some peace inside. Even though you're the one who put it there at the start, you hung up again. Why do you have to hide? Give me permission to handle your heart. Change, wouldn't it be easy if we could change? Fall into my arms, fall into my arms, fall into my arms and change. Wouldn't it be easy if we could change just a little bit? Oh, change. Wouldn't it be easy if we could change just a little bit? Just a little bit. 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 Thank you. Really extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't see it, but I know what's happening behind me, and it's for somebody to tell a story that silently is it's kind of magical, really. I'm going to finish off this first set with the song that Lindsay and I ended up remaking together this year. I also just want to take the opportunity to say thank you so much for coming to this. It means a lot to me. I know it would have meant a lot to him. This is What Love Would Want. my door. The barriers you see I never saw. In my mind, you talk about a problem I can't find. He or she, ask what love would want, what love would want for you and me. He for he for she, ask what love would want, what love would want of you and me. Time to tell you how it is before you yell. Fear you feel fill you up with nothing but more fear. He or she, or he, ask what love would want, what love would want of you and me. She asked what love would want, what love would want for you and me. Ask what love would want for you and me. Ask what love would want for you and me. For you, for you. Thank you so much. See you in the second half.